So the Destiny 2 beta is out on both PS4 and Xbox One if you pre-order the game, and it'll be open to the public in just a few days. But after playing this pretty much all day yesterday non-stop, and then also this morning as well, figured I would give my initial thoughts on the beta and how I feel about it. Keep in mind, this is the beta. This isn't like what everything is going to be in the full game. Some things could change. Hopefully there are a few things that they changed, and I'll get to that in a second, but just keep in mind this is a beta. But first off, let's go over the story mission, which is Homecoming. So I thought this story mission was actually very fun and played well, although this could change and it could play a little bit different when the full game comes out, because of course in the beta we are level 20 and we already have some legendary weapons and armor and stuff. I would say the difficulty could be scaled down in the full release, since I would say more than likely we're going to be just now starting out like rank 1 or level 1, and we won't have any legendary weapons or anything like that. I mean, we could, but I really doubt that. It'll probably be like the uncommon weapons that, similar to how it was in the Destiny 1 release. But besides that, visually, it absolutely looked amazing. Like, there were some times I was just walking around and I would just stop just to look out over the city being destroyed and just look at everything flying around. They did a really good job on that as far as the visuals go. But there was a problem, and it just seemed kind of weird to me. I mean, some people probably didn't really care, but there are a few scenes, like for one, where your ghost is talking to you before you fly into the city. And then also again at the very end when you're going against Gaul and your ghost falls off the tower, our guardian doesn't speak. It's like they're mute. Like whenever the ghost falls off the tower and you kind of reach for it, there was no sound effect. Like you would think someone was going to be like, no. But nope, this is nothing there. You just have to kind of add in your own sound effects. So I'm not sure why we don't have a voice for that. Hopefully in the full game there'll be some voice lines. I mean, if not, that'll just be really weird. Just makes things kind of awkward. It makes you seem like you're a mute. And I mean, in Destiny 1, we at least had a few lines here and there. So hopefully there's a voice actor for that. I just feel like it'd be kind of weird just to go through and not say anything the whole time. But anyways, after that we have the strike, which is the Inverted Spire. Now, I thought this was a lot of fun, although some parts kind of, you know, they got kind of boring and they just seem kind of bland. For instance, like when you're on like that beachy type area before you get launched up into the entrance to the spire, there wasn't like too much going on there. I mean, it wasn't like completely like a wasteland, but there just wasn't too much action. I mean, it is a strike. There's not gonna be super insane mechanics, but once you actually get to the final boss, this was honestly one of my favorite strikes ever, simply because like the changing mechanics that the boss does, and then also the changing environment. Once you get to the very last stage where you're down in the very bottom of that, what looks, I guess, is a cave, like that whole environment, I thought that was amazing. As soon as we landed there first, I just kind of like walked around and just looked at some of the stuff, because I mean, they just did such a good job with that, like the visuals of it. Just want to walk around and explore and, you know, go off into the distance. Sadly you can't, but still it's really cool to look at. So that was one of my favorite parts of that, honestly. But other than that, you know, it is a strike. There's not any like insane mechanics that you have to worry about, but I mean, it still was really fun. Then also at the very beginning of the strike, you could do the small bit of patrol that they said we would get to see, where you can kind of go off to the right and you can see like the lost sector that was off to the side. There's sometimes like little public events going on where like the Cabal are going against the Fallen. So we got like a really small taste of public events and patrols and stuff, and it was actually a lot of fun. Can't wait to see what they do with that in the full release. But then next up to just all around PvE. So our Guardians feel much weaker with the new 2 primaries that we get. One with your kinetic damage and then one with your energy damage like solar, void, or arc. It just seems like we're a lot weaker. I mean, in Destiny 1, I really enjoyed running around with like shotguns, fusion rifles, and snipers in PvE. And I mean, now we just hardly get to use them. For one, the heavy ammo drops are really horrible, especially on grenade launchers and rocket launchers. If you're going to use one of those, then you're going to be out of luck. Because I was using a grenade launcher, and I think out of the whole strike, I maybe had 3 grenades. That is it. Although, to be fair, Luke Smith did say they're working on ammo drops in PvE, and they've already kind of got it adjusted where, like, say for instance, like your sniper, fusion, or rocket ammo will drop more often, and then there's going to be a little bit more often for like your rocket launcher and grenade launcher and stuff. So yeah, I said that they're working on that, and they kind of have an idea of what they're going to do in the release. So hopefully that works out for the better, but still, I just feel like we're a lot weaker having to run around with 2 primaries for the most part. I honestly think they could have kept it to where shotguns and fusion rifles weren't heavy weapons or power weapons in PvE, because I mean, who's really going to use those over like a sniper or the rockets or grenade launchers, especially if the grenade launchers and rockets have a little bit more heavy ammo dropping than what it is right now. Although I'd say mostly people are going to lean towards snipers, just basing it off of what we've seen in Destiny 1. That's what you would think. So I don't really think they should have moved the shotguns and fusion rifles to the heavy weapons for Destiny 2, but what are you going to do? And then also after that, we have the slow ability cooldowns. Like, this is horrible in PvE. Although, once again, you know, this could change in the full game if we get better gear. hopefully, like maybe this gear will help us, like our abilities and stuff, charge faster. But you know, abilities are one of the main things that make PvE so much fun. Just running around killing things with your super, and with such slow cooldowns, it seriously gets really boring. Like for instance, I wanted to see how long it would take me for my grenade to recharge, and it took me 1 minute and 22 seconds. It could be 1:21, 1:23, something like that. I timed it on my phone, so give or take a second, but it came out to 1 minute and 22 seconds, which is absolutely horrible. I do not understand that. That just makes it so boring for PvE. If they changed all this in PvE, but just to like compensate for PvP, I think that was a huge mistake. So hopefully they can separate that, and your abilities will charge a lot faster in PvE. Or like I said, maybe our armor that we get can make our abilities charge faster. I mean, if it's going to be like this, like how it is in the beta, that would be horrible. So I mean, hopefully they're smart enough to realize that that plays a huge role in PvE, and it's not going to be that slow. And this is, like I said, this is just the beta, and we don't have the good gear and all that. But if it was to stay like that, that would be a huge mistake. But anyways, next up we have PvP. So the PvP in the Destiny 2 beta, you know, it is fun and refreshing, but it feels like it needs, or it has a few things that needs to be tweaked. So first off, once again, you know, the super or ability cooldown seems like just a tad too slow. Most of the time I get my super within like the last 2 minutes of the game. Sometimes I don't even get my super, which kind of sucks. But you know, you also see a lot of people using their super around the same time within like the last minute of the game, since it takes so long to get, and it just gets really hectic there at the end of the game. So hopefully they bump up the rate at which you get your super to where, you know, like if you're, say, an average player, you can at least get your super maybe twice a game, which it's not really that bad since you're pretty easy to kill out of your super now. So, you know, hopefully they change some things with that. But then also after that, the health regen seemed a little bit slower than what it was in Destiny 1. I didn't really focus on that too much, but there were some times where I was just sitting there waiting on my health to regen. It just seemed like it took forever, so we'll just have to see with that. But then also, you know, the 4v4 is, it's fun, but I still think I prefer 6v6. That's just me. I mean, for some reason, I don't know what it is about 4v4, but I seem like I run into more than one person more than I did in 6v6. Like, I'm getting team shot way more, and it's like I'm seeing less 1v1s. I don't know if that's just me, but it just seems like I'm getting team shot way more. And then also, you know, the time to kill it's definitely slower than what it is in Destiny 1. I mean, once again, this could be because we don't have optimal weapons yet, but it does feel a little bit slower, which can kind of mess you up a little bit, because you'll be shooting at someone and then out of nowhere you'll just get team shot, and it screws you over. But besides that, weapons seem to play more of a role now than what they did in Destiny 1. Like, for instance, Destiny 1, hand cannons pretty much did everything. They could do long range, medium range, up close. They were just all around really good. And now it seems like hand cannons, you know, they're really good up close. And auto rifles were okay up close. They weren't anything amazing. There was one that was pretty good. I can't think of the name of it. But other than that, they weren't too special. But, you know, after that, it seemed like the pulse rifles were good at the medium range. Then scout rifles, they actually seemed kind of weak, sadly. Like the high impact one, I think it's called the Does Not Compute. It just seemed like it wasn't really doing that much. Like, I was landing my crit shots, and it just seemed like it took way too slow to kill, especially compared to Destiny 1, some of the high impact scout rifles in that game. Like, they performed, I thought they were really balanced in Destiny 1, honestly. They performed really well at long ranges, and then, you know, up close to medium range, they're definitely going to get outgunned for the most part. But it just seemed like the scout rifles weren't really doing anything, especially the faster firing one. I think I got like 1 or 2 kills with that. And then with the Does Not Compute, with it being a high impact scout rifle, it just seemed like it wasn't really doing that much from far away, even like the long range sights. So I don't know what that's about. They may have to do some tuning with that. But also, it seemed like the aim assist wasn't as strong in this, at least for me anyways. Like, there were some shots where I thought I could have swore I was aimed in, like right on their head, and just the bullet just didn't register. And then same with, I was using I think it's the Copperhead Sniper. Like, I was aimed in right on someone's face and shot, and it didn't hit. So it definitely seems like the aim assist is a little bit less than what it is in Destiny 1. But then last but not least, now this one is kind of a touchy subject here. So I've seen some people on Twitter saying skill-based matchmaking is in the beta, and I'm not going to say that it is or it isn't. I mean, there was one game I went like 25-2, and then right after that, literally the next game, I got through into a game with, I think it's Wish You Luck. His PSN is TTV Wish, and I think his Twitter is Rumbledore. And if you know who he is insane at PvP. He's seriously so good at the game. And I got through into a game with him, and I'm pretty sure he had 3 other people in his party. So I have noticed where if I do really good in one game, the next game after that, it'll be really sweaty. So I'm not going to really say that it is in the game, but it definitely kind of feels like it. But anyways, guys, that is my overall thoughts on the Destiny 2 beta so far. Once again, this is just a beta. I've seen some people complaining that, that we already burned through all the stuff within like a few hours. There's nothing to do now. But I mean, it is the beta. You don't want them to put everything out there like in the Destiny 1 beta. We had pretty much everything on Earth, and then got that little section on the moon. And then when the full game came out, they're like, oh, we already saw this in the beta. What is this? So I'm perfectly fine with the small amount of content we get. Plus, we get the new farm on Sunday to go visit for like an hour. And I mean, you never know, within like the last day or two, they could add in like another PvP map just to let us mess around on. You never know. But I mean, I really don't care. It's a beta. It's supposed to just like tease you on what's going to be in the game, and, you know, give you an idea of what you're going to get to play. Other than that, I think it's going to be really fun. I can't wait for Destiny 2. Like I said, my main concerns right now are with the PvE side of things, with like the ability cooldowns and how the power ammo and everything is going to work. So hopefully they can get that fixed out, because I really don't want to be running around and waiting for like 2 or 3 minutes just for my super to recharge. That just makes it really, really boring. So hopefully they can get that fixed. But other than that, it's a lot of fun. But anyways, let me know how you guys feel about the Destiny 2 beta, and your thoughts or concerns with it, and I guess also what you enjoyed out of it so far. But anyways, that's going to do it for me here. So as always, I would like to thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed. If you could leave a thumbs up on the video if you did enjoy it, I would appreciate it. Also, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And until next time, I will catch you all later.
Yeah.